Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, hello, hello. It's another glorious day, my T-Sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your comfort together because it's time to dish the tea. And your dish is darlings. With Big Meach.
Can't wait. Time to dish tea with Big Meach. Time to dish tea with Big Meach. Time to dish tea with Big Meach. Time to dish tea with Big Meach.
Darling.
My favorite way to wake up, lying next to you. Just one look, I wake with the song in my heart. I wake with the song in my heart.
When I wake up in the morning light, sunlight hits my eyes, and something without more than love is heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Yeah, just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. Oh, a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, and someone else instead of me always seems to know the way. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Yeah, just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
Favorite way to wake up, I clear my eyes. Spirits connect and internalize. So dancing through the night, we wrestling. Tether love to a movie, nestling. We write love poems as I look in your eyes and see clearly a love that I can't deny. Why try, can't lie. Gratitude, I focus on the future, this love's the truth.
Then I look at you,
and then I look at you and see possibility.
And the world's alright with me.
Infinite possibility, I see.
Just one look at you.
One look at you.
And I know it's gonna
one
be.
Look and I know it's gonna be.
A lovely day. A lovely day. A lovely day. And I know it's gonna be a lovely day. A lovely day. And I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
And hello out there in Blog Talk Radio land here in the glorious United States of America and across the globe. Hello to all of my tea sippers over there in Germany and Italy and France and the Caribbean island and down in Mexico and in Venezuela and in Egypt and in Russia and in the Congo and all across the world, my darlings. I know you have all of your crumpets together, my darlings, because now it's time to dish tea. And you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meach. What's going on, babies? Child, I got a little late start. Now, y'all know every time I try to do something cute and this, that, and the other, the cosmos just loves to humble me. So I had a little late start or whatever, so I am going to do stuff just a little bit differently, not much, just a little bit, okay, to make sure that I'm back on track and everything, honey. So if you're listening by computer and want to comment on this conversation, feel free to call in at 347-205-9183. That's 347-205-9183. When you come in, just press the number 1 if you want to talk. Hit it one time. You're going to enter the prompt to say, you're now in the host queue. When you hear that, darling, that means that your hand has been raised on my switchboard. I got you, and I'm going to bring you in, honey, at the appropriate time. Just bear with me, honey, okay? Just be patient. Don't be flicking and flicking and flicking and flicking. I know a number of you y'all pop in, you flick and flick and flick. And I think that's going to make me calm on you faster. It ain't. Okay. It won't, and that's because I'm trying to make sure that everything is up to par, okay? So just know that I got you, okay? And we'll move on from there. The tea room is now open, so if you're listening by computer, want to come on in over there, the tea room is open, and I'm going to say this, honey, if you're coming in and want to interact, you're going to have to create a page with Blog Talk Radio Network. It's free of charge, of course, just like all of the social media outlets. Just come in, create a page, then you'll be able to come on in and be interactive. Otherwise, when you come in, you just say guest and then have a number by it, and you'll be able to watch everything. You just won't be able to respond. But here's the disclaimer for that. When you come into the tea room, if you choose to do that, please come in dishing your tea responsibly, darling. Y'all know this. We're in the world now. Everything is always 140 characters or less, okay, which is very interesting considering the educational system that we have here. However, this is the world we live in, and everybody is, y'all just a couple of finger snaps and things away. However, because we are losing the art of communication, in my opinion, we forget what folks sound like or this, that, and that, or people you never knew. So you're basing your own experience. I think of somebody maybe trying to neck roll you, maybe trying to finger snap you, let you have it, maybe trying to come out of a bag on you, and that may not necessarily be the case. So please remember, come over in here, dish your tea responsibly. It's okay to disagree. Just don't become disagreeable. Because if I find out that you are and I come in, I'm going to take you out. Okay? It's just that simple. I'm going to cut you out, baby. So just come over here and dish your tea responsibly for me, please. Okay? Now, let me go here. Dishing tea with Big Meach is for mature audiences, and the language and or subject matters that you hear on this program are not intended for children or anyone who is not mature and or responsible enough to handle the situation at hand. So your listening discretion is advised. I will repeat. Dishing tea with Big Meach is for mature audiences, and the language and the subject matters that you hear on this program are not intended for children or anyone who is not mature and or responsible enough to handle the situation at hand. So your listening discretion is advised, okay? So here's the thing, honey. If you're at work, now is the time for you to turn your volumes down to a respectful level and or put your headphones on. If you're in a room that has children, honey, take the kids, put the kids in the other room, honey, with the other flat screen, and let them watch Dora the Explorer, honey, SpongeBob SquarePants, child. Let them watch Bert and Ernie, Big Bird of Snuffleupagus, honey, the Tinky Winky Teletubbies or whatever. Honey, they could watch Kate and Allie. They could watch Laverne and Shirley. They could watch Cagney and Lacey, honey. Okay, who cares, child? Just put them over there, because now it's time for the grown and sexy to become the seasoned and sophisticated. Ah, okay? That's what the whole tea of that is. And please remember, honey, I am now 48 years young. Praise the Lord. I have earned the right to every 3, 4, 5, 17, 52, 197 syllable and or letter word that comes out of my mouth. So, honey, I don't know what bag I'm coming out of. Just know I might come out of one. So consider yourselves warned, because I am not going to allow any of you bitches come to me at the Walgreens, the Walmart, the Dollar Tree, the Dollar General, honey. I could be at Family Dollar. I could be at Saks Fifth Avenue. I could be over here at the MARTA train station. I could be at the fucking airport. We could be in Paris or Rome, wherever we are. I would not allow anyone to come to me to say, Big Meach, I got demerits, I got rolled up, I got something about your show. No, you didn't do it about my shows, because you were not governing yourselves accordingly, honey. So please consider yourselves what? Warned. Ha! Okay. I got a brief announcement, and then I'm going to go into a couple of things. Brief announcement for you. Next Saturday, July 14th, 2018. Honey, I'm very excited about this. I am directing a short film. It is an independent film. It's called Urban Camping. Now, we're going to do the 15-minute trailer reel for it, and we are having auditions. Now, these are roles that are not paid. So I need non-union actors, those who are going to be committed to the process, because this is an independent film, so that means that we've got to work around schedules and this, that, and other to get the shoot done. So if you are interested, okay, the minimum age that we need you to be is about 25. We do have one role that's about between 60 and 70, older gentlemen, but we do have roles starting at least 25, 28 years of age. We have 6 roles that we need to cast. So for more information, please go to my website, dishingtea.com, or email me at bigmeach@dishingtea.com. That's BIGMEACH at dishingtea.com. Or you can call me directly at 404-914-5610. 404-914-5610. The show is called Urban Camping. And the whole idea and the premise of the show is we're dealing with homelessness and when and why did homelessness become a crime. Okay? That's the whole premise of what this is all about. Okay? The auditions are going to be next week, Saturday, July 14th, between 2 and 5 p.m. over here at the College Park Auditorium, which is located at 3963 Main Street. I think that's right, 3963 Main Street. It is 1 block north of the College Park train station. So if you're on the trains, come to College Park, come out of the College Park train station, go to the right, come down a block. It is right there from 2 to 5 p.m. at the College Park Auditorium. We're going to have a lovely time, and come on up here and let me see your acting chops. Please bring a headshot and resume. Okay, a headshot and resume, honey. Okay, to the audition. Race is not important. We're going to entertain anybody who come in and audition. Okay, so bring your A game. All right. Like I said, email me or give me a call or go to the website to get the character breakdowns and the descriptions of carrying on. We need someone to play the mayor, female. We need someone to play the head honcho, the money man, the carrying on. That's a 60 to 70-year-old role. We have another male who is the mad scientist, kind of nerd kind of person. We have Madison, we have Lynn, and I'm missing somebody. Oh, the sheriff. So yeah, those are the roles that we're casting right now. Like I said, for more of a breakdown, which is very minimal. I didn't do a lot with the breakdowns or whatever. I gave y'all just enough information to let me see what you come working with. And when you read the sizes, code readings, I'm not giving anybody to come prepared. They're going to read code readings, and we're going to go from there. So, again, urban camping auditions, non-union actors, because this is non-paid. This is an independent film directed by yours truly. And we're going to have auditions July 14th, 2018 at the College Park Auditorium, 3963 Main Street, right here in College Park. It is 1 block north of the College Park Rail Station. For more information, please give me a call, 404-914-5610, or email me at bigmeach@dishingtea.com, BIGMEACH@dishingtea.com. All right, so let me do this. I'm going to let just one or two of my little commercials play, and then we're going to get into this particular show. Honey, if you want to come in on this and talk with a brother, the number to call is 347-205-9183. I titled today's show, Having a Lovely Day with a Fly Brother, Timm M. West. Okay, so so when we come back, we're going to get right into all of this.
Trigg Laboratories manufactures premium sexual wellness and consumer healthcare products and is the parent company of Wet International Incorporated, one of the world's best-selling lines of personal lubricants and intimacy products. We carry a large variety of personal and flavored lubricants, flavored heating massage lotions, and aromatherapy heating massage oils. Whether you need a little or a lot, Wet has you covered. Our line of high-quality, innovative, and unique products are formulated using only the finest ingredients at our FDA-approved facility, meeting the strictest manufacturing standards. Wet is available worldwide at specialty stores and online retailers and at pharmacies nationwide. For more information or to find a retailer near you, log on to www.stayswetlonger.com. Trigg Laboratories. We create fun, quality, trusted products to innovate your intimacy.
Double Exposure Media Relations is a full-service public relations, marketing, and artist development firm specializing in urban culture and lifestyle. Spearheaded by the Henry Hingers of hip-hop, Mr. Angelo Ellaby, Double Exposure serves to educate its clients about the dollars and cents of the music industry. For more information about Double Exposure Media Relations, call 201-224-6510. 201-224-6510. Double Exposure Media Relations.
Especially when hearts break open. Fly, brother, fly. Cause healing is a feeling, so I'm hoping you fly. Sometimes a case of a broken heart broke open, palpitating up, beat down, hoping for a nice cool breeze to evaporate this trail of tears. Middle passage, cause life's best bully is fear, taking advantage of a soft spot. Sometimes check the pulse, get back in touch with the body, rock, exhale and whatnot. Like hip hop, we never stop loving, even when the heart starts troubling. I'm looking for a jump start. Somebody to lay hands, I'm flatlining. And clear that my next step is the next breath. Second one, refresh. My heart's being put to a test, and I be that guy. Walk by faith to fly. Exhale to hell, make space to sigh. Inhale some joy, ain't time to die. Hearts break open, spread wings, you fly. You fly, believe it. Your heart can conceive it. 'Cause you fly, believe it. Your heart can conceive it. Conceive it. Conceive it. If I can fly with a broken wing, I can sing a melodious lullaby. I can dry my own eyes in the air as I float in the sky. Why? Braveheart, recognize and fly. I can know when I'm on cloud 9, when I'm on life 8. I can own and forgive my own mistakes. Wait a little when the haste is a hate crime. Hearts break open, I'ma stay fly, ready to accept life's miracle. Ain't never empirical, mostly they spiritual reminders of grace. I miss the hate and the confusion, the illusion when fear drives a solution. Remember to breathe, inhale, exhale. Remember to see clearly, time will tell. Patience the principle, brother, stop rushing. Falling's inevitable, just like blushing. So fly, believe it. Your heart can conceive it. 'Cause you fly, believe it. Your heart can conceive it. Conceive it. Conceive it. You gotta feel the joy, pain, the anticipation when hearts break open. So practice patience, slow it down before you speed it up. Build some momentum, blood is gonna rush, tears will fall, and hearts will dance. Remember your wisdom and take a chance. Fly high above your circumstance. See to pray, yes you can. You so fly, your heart can't believe it. You so fly, your heart can't conceive it. You so fly, your heart can't believe it. You so fly, your heart can't conceive it.
And we are back. If you're just tuning in and want to come in on the conversation with a question, comment, or concern for our guest, the number to call is 347-205-9183. That's 347-205-9183. Yes, my darlings. Thank you, T-Sippers, for all of your love and your support. For those of you who are unaware, honey, we are just starting our 9th season. So happy anniversary to us. As of July 1st, we are now 9 years old on the air here with Blog Talk Radio Network. So to kick off our anniversary celebration, or our 9th season, we have someone who has been a wonderful advocate, an artist, entertainer, poet, author, collaborator, health enthusiast, and just an overall voice for the Black LGBT plus community. My guest, Mr. Timm West, will be dishing tea with Big Meach, and we will get down and deep into what makes him tick and what ticks him off about being a noticeable celebrity, how he balances his advocacy and professional life with his personal, and we will get his take on some of the hot issues that have made news with the LGBT community and our nation. My darlings, this is going to be a very hot pot of tea for your nerves, my darlings. So please go get all your good girlfriends and your guy pals and bring plenty of crumpets and an empty plate for some birthday cake, honey, as we say happy birthday to our guest and welcome him to the show. This is the one and only Mr. Timm West. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Timm. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, baby. What's up?
Thank you. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Oh, good. I didn't know. I wasn't sure. I appreciate that. And congratulations on 9 years. That's definitely a feat in today's world to have something that's been running for 9 years. So congratulations on that.
Darling, when I tell you it is completely a blessing, and it shocks me as well to say it's been 9 years. I'm having such a time. It's still relatively new. You know, we only 6 days into July, so we have not really processed what that means just yet. But
Right.
we're here, you know, and I'm very grateful and I'm thankful to everyone who listens in and carrying on, child. As you heard in the intro, we got folks over there in the Congo, child, and in Venezuela and in Russia who have tuned in and keep their ears on, child. So I know this is something bigger than me, you know.
Right.
So, having said all that, my love, how are things in your world and what has been going on? We've been trying to do this for a little piece of a minute, y'all. Okay. So when I was a little late coming up in here, I almost had a conniption. Because I'm like, oh my God, wait a minute, what is going on? What is going on?
Right. And so, it's not surprising to me that we've been able to make time for this, and I'm literally on the road. My friends that know what a kind of workaholic I am know that, like, I enjoy road trips and driving because it's one of the few times my hands aren't on a laptop doing work. So, I can put on my music, my little house beats and whatever, and just, be on the road and enjoy it. So, the fact that I get to enjoy the show today and be on it, and as I drive from, I started my birthday out in Memphis last night, and then I'm headed to New Orleans this weekend. So, just meet up with a couple of friends. Don't really have a lot of plans except to just take it all in and enjoy myself.
Well, how about that, honey? Everybody ain't able. Okay, then there's Essence Fest this weekend as well, so that's cute. Cute. Okay. So, we're going to get started because, darling, I really am fascinated with your work and how you have been able to be a voice of sort. I was having a conversation a while ago about trying to identify leaders within the LGBT community, particularly the Black LGBT community. And when we try to have leaders or people who are voices, we may have about a handful of people whose names come up. Okay, Keith Boykins and what's Donna's last name? I can't think of Donna's last name right now. Okay, there's you, and there's a couple of others, who may be the face of Black gay America at some point in time or another. So my first question to you is going to be, taking on the helm or coming into advocacy work and doing the things that you have done as far as your television, your press, the interviews, and just becoming that voice. Why is that significant for you, and why is that important?
It was interesting, Meach, to bring that up because none of, I guess the public nature of my work, the public servant aspect of my work was never really the intention. I think all of my advocacy is rooted in, like, just being someone who feels like there are things in the world that need to change and that I'm equipped with some skills and resources to do it. And so, the fact that, like, I've made a name for myself in the process, that was never the objective. And so I think it comes from, like, I've never set out to be a voice or the voice of the leader. And I honestly think that some of my best work has been the ability to encourage younger voices. I'm an educator, so, like, the fact when I have a student come back to me and say, I'm teaching, at a school, to me that's such a gift of my leadership, because that's what I want to do. I don't think
this sort of like one voice idea, right? Like everybody's looking for the MLK or the Barack Obama, and it's like, I mean, I think we can do so much more if there's a course of leaders out there operating in different ways to really dismantle a lot of the oppressive system that we live under, in particular right now. So, so like that, if I get a little praise for it, that's great, but that's not really the point of it. And I also find, Meach, as I get older, there's a part of me that's conflicted about the public nature of that work, because people have a lot of trust in your leadership, and then there are times when you just want to like eat bad snacks and watch Netflix and just not be out there. And I think as I've gotten older, there's been even a little bit more like social anxiety. Like I question the spaces where I show up because unfortunately within our community there's a lot of toxicity, right?
Right.
A lot of Black LGBT folks have been hurt and traumatized for much of their lives, and the people that are closest to them are the people they come after. I became very sensitive to that, Meach, to the point where I started to develop social anxiety in Black gay space. And for me, it was just like, I got to retreat from this and do some healing. Because when it wasn't even always directed at me, it would just be like even overhearing, people talk or read, somebody. I'm like, you don't really know their story, so why is that our default? And I get it, that's how we develop thick skins. That's in the ball and the house community. That's that was how a lot of us came up. But at some point, we have to feel like, okay, we can take a different path, right? And why are we hurling that at the people? Why are we hurling that at the people that are most hurting us instead of each other?
Exactly. Very, very interesting that you say that because, right, I get it totally. You've done so much and carried on. I'm a mother of a house, and a lot of people don't know that because I'm not a ball walking house. My house is more of a social justice kind of house, and then I fell into it. It wasn't like I was trying to set out to become a house or anything, but back home in Detroit, it was a ministry because it was like my best friend and I lived in a 2-bedroom basement apartment, honey. And we had 8 other people in that motherfucker with us, child. And the whole idea was to uplift them and show them that they could be more than what their surroundings said that they were, if they believed in whatever they said their higher power was. We didn't thrust religion on them or anything. We just had them tap into whatever source they said was their ruling force, whether it be their higher selves, whether it was God, it was Allah, it was Buddha, whatever they said it was. We showed them, if you stick here and let that be your foundation, then trust and believe that the foundation is going to be strong and build from there. And so that's how my house got started. Okay, it was more so ministry, and the name Divinity. That was the name that hit me. I was like, oh my God, even the name itself was something. So in saying all of that, and now I was since relocating here from Detroit to Atlanta, I know my intention has shifted a little bit. Trying to be forthcoming and trying to be out there and whatever. The way that I was back in the day, that youthful exuberance, honey, has changed a little bit more and things. And the toxicity that we have.
You and I have been out here leading for decades.
I know.
Well, I was talking. Well, now that I'm back in Cincy, we're both Midwest boys. Now that I'm back in Cincy, I used to remember the days of driving up to go to heaven, or as the kids say, heavens.
The heavens, honey. Yes, with an S, baby.
But what was interesting about those days is I feel like, and I'm curious your take on it, I feel like our spaces were so much more inclusive. And maybe because we had spaces and everybody went to the one space, but we had transgender girls there, we had your macho guys, you had your DL guys, you had your femme queens, your butch queens. You had generationally, it wasn't like now when you go to some spots, everybody's 25 and under.
Right.
We came up at a time where my mentors, I found a lot of my mentors at club spaces. And
Exactly.
they were older
Exactly.
brothers, and they weren't trying to sleep with me necessarily either. And I feel like we've really lost a lot of that. And I think it's in a lot of spaces we've lost that.
You know what? Part of that is due to us losing the mentors and stuff when the HIV/AIDS plague hit us, and we didn't know what it was, and we were losing a lot of people. And then the other part of it is that's our fault because we did not pick up the helm. We did not want to put ourselves in position to where we became the elder. See, we thought we had the fountain of youth, and it wasn't going to go anywhere. I remember saying that to some of the queens back in the day up at Bookie's, child. And I remember this child came, she said, baby, she said, I know you think all this is grand right now, honey, but this is going to get old real quick. And I was mortified, right? Bitch, what are you talking about? This is the club. This is the everything. You're going to get. Child, 5 years in. 5 years in, honey, I was bored because it became the same thing. It was this, that, and the other. But we did not facilitate other spaces. We had got out of the house party routine and meeting up with other people, at other people's houses for game night or discussion night or whatever. We had migrated away from that. Everything stayed with the clubs, and then when we started losing the mentors and everything, and now we done stepped up into that mentorship role, we dropped the ball for whatever reason. Either we were trying to have the children, we didn't want to take the responsibility, or felt that it was too much, or whatever the case is. Maybe some of us wasn't out as they wasn't out and open and carrying on as somebody would have liked, and they wasn't ready to do that struggle, or whatever the case may be. We didn't pick up that helm, and so now the problem that we're running into, these young kids now, we have opened up those doors and things, and we have taken ourselves and we have gotten us to a place where these kids, we feel as though they're running amok, but we open up those doors for them to come down and be able to walk as Butch Queen up in pumps in the daylight on the street corner with the purse and pumps and boy clothes. Okay, we have opened up those doors, and now we're expecting our voice to come out of their mouths, and we're not really listening to them. And then what have we given them to fight for? We don't even know what their fight is anymore. Because now that gay marriage and same-sex, same-gender marriage has been approved, it doesn't seem as though we want anything more. You know what I'm saying? So I guess my question to you becomes, what is the next step in advocacy that you see? Because now that you're in a space to where it's like, oh my God, I need to rethink, or I need a break, I need to pull back because of the toxicity. I don't want to lose myself in this, and then I don't want my life to just be all about advocacy. How do you balance that, child?
Yeah, it's so one, I think it's important that those of us who are on the front lines of the work, become unapologetic about self-care. I think it was Audre Lorde that said something about self-care is like a battle. It's like she described that as a war, because once you put yourself out there as a leader, it's almost like people expect you to show up that way everywhere. And it's like, no, sometimes I just want to go to the club and have a cute cocktail and enjoy some music. And that's part of self-care. But I think another thing that we need to get back to, and I noticed this, we have been back in Cincinnati, and we hadn't had a Black Pride since '09. And I said, you know what, this city is 45% Black. Why we ain't got no Black Pride? So
okay, right.
Been like a lot of leadership had moved on or moved to different places, and everybody wanted it, but like there weren't a whole lot of people who said, I want to actually take the responsibility to make sure it happens. And we had an amazing Pride, Black Pride Festival, which was aligned with the regular Pride. But one of the things that I noticed was that generational piece. But the most powerful thing for me, and shocking for some people, I've never really marched in Pride parades. That wasn't really my thing to march. I've been to some on the sidelines watching. But because I'm a native of Cincy, I wanted to march this time. And Meach, if I tell you the looks on all the, especially the black and brown kids, there was lots of them out on the parade route. Because I think there was some upwards of like 300,000 people at Pride, and then I remember Cincinnati could only get 300 at one point. Now, Cincy has really shifted in terms of its thoughts around LGBT stuff. It's become a much more progressive place, but a lot of the Cincy has always had a black political stronghold, and now they have a really strong gay political stronghold, but it shows up most often as white dominant. And so where this goes back to the parade, I'm not one of those that everybody needs to march in a parade. Like, I haven't. This is the first time I actually marched in a parade, but it was so valuable for those young kids on the side when they saw Cincinnati Black Pride with an Africa sign saying, "We're black, we're back, get used to it." Their faces lit up. And for me, it was almost a tearful moment of like, wow, like I can see myself, and being LGBT is not just about what I do in my bed, but like I see leaders in that group, I see professors in that group, I see advocates, I see pastors in that group. And we had such a broad and diverse coalition of black people marching with us, and it was so powerful for them to see us. But we got to do it then more than just on Pride and more than just that day. And I think some of that is just reaching back. And, I think you and I, we mentioned we had our mentors. We had our gay houses and our mothers and our dads that, kind of gave us some the tea on, like, things to do, things to avoid. We didn't always listen, but we had those voices. And I feel like now there's not a lot of conversation across generations unless it's about, somebody's sexual availability and, but to truly be about the business of mentorship and helping our young people, a lot of that has really fallen away. And I think that's the next phase. We say, like, what we need to do next, we need mentorship. Mm-hmm. We need the young, because, I work in education. These kids are coming out of middle school.
Right.
And they're coming out in different ways than we came out. They're androsexual and pansexual and so many identities that we never even imagined or thought about. But a lot of it is like they don't have they're not talking to people about sex. And some of the things I've heard young people, some of the mythologies they've had about safer sex and sex, it's just like, oh, sweetie, like, no. Like that's
exactly
not true.
Okay.
Because we can't count, unfortunately, on our schools to give them that information. It's interesting that the CDC has one of the, or at least previously, they probably have changed it under the current administration. But at one point, the CDC, the Department of Adolescent Youth, had a really progressive curriculum that was like comprehensive sexual health education that they could not even deliver in the city of Atlanta because of state laws.
Wow.
So the curriculum is being created in
that's
Atlanta,
right.
but they can't even do it in the schools.
Yeah, because these ultra-conservative children down here don't want. Yes, Lord. Yeah. As far as what to teach the kids, and it's supposed to. Yeah. Okay. Which is ridiculous. However.
But what's odd about that is the STI rates and the pregnancy rates are telling you what the kids are doing. So let's not be blind. And then it's interesting that a lot of the abstinence-only states are the ones with the highest pregnancy rates.
Hello. Because we have allowed it to be sheltered, and I don't understand why. Particularly, this is our generation now, because these are our babies coming up. And why is it that we have forgotten what it was to be a teenager, to be a young person, when especially during those school years when hormones start rising and carrying on, and then the world that we live in today, where everything is pansexualized, everything, honey, is uber this, and now that we have allowed the word freak to be redefined, because now, and audience, y'all heard me say this on many of occasions, that in order to get your freak card these days, honey, it becomes you doing the most outrageous. When we were kids, being the freak was the anomaly, honey. You didn't want to be a freak. That was what you were talked about. You were the outcast. Well, now,
Right.
in order to say a freak, that's a badge of honor now. Like saying baby mama, baby daddy, that's a badge of honor now. Going to prison is a badge of honor now. That we have allowed our culture to embrace and to have some form of definition within the collective, and within the narrative. So now, unless I could sit down here and take on 20 guys at a time, and you could run a train on me, and I could still flip and do backflips and swing off the chandelier and carry it on, so that when you leave this experience, you talking about me, like, okay, yeah, that bitch is a freak and blah, 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 and it's almost like it's a ballroom status. I got my status child in the ballroom, but it's because I done snatched the trophy.
Right.
But now we're at that particular level, and so we have not given the tools or whatever for folks to navigate their way through that, because it's one thing to be sexually active in a healthy way or whatever, and it's not to rain or crowd somebody's parade, but we have not looked into sexual addiction, which I'm a big proponent of, because that was what I had to deal with. We have not looked into the whole mental health component of it, because a lot of these babies out here are lost because they don't know how to navigate their way through life. Everything becomes trial and error. And then when they get to the point where they realize it's trial and error, they prefer to do things the hard way, because that's the only way that they know. They don't trust their advice or whatever. So we don't think they listen and hear us. So it's always drama. It's always something. And then because they're young, they think they live in. Oh, I get to tell my story, honey. This is just the experiences that's just going to propel me forward. I'm going to learn from this. And bitch, by the time you learn, you have dead. You have nothing to give to society or give to yourself, because you have just taken yourself through the ringer for what? Okay, it's not even for somebody else, because you're not even in the circle to where folks want to be around you, folks can learn from you, folks can take from you, because you have just given yourself or allowed for yourself to become an example, to be the butt of the joke, to be the one everybody read when you walk in the club, or this, that, and the other. So that's what we have come to.
But I think there's something really powerful that happens, and I think, Meach, you've always been a proponent, and I think you've always applauded the way I stand and speak truth to power about my life, about my HIV status. I just, on the 27th of June, which was ironically, and I didn't even realize this, the 27th of June is National HIV Testing Day, I think. But it also marks the day that I tested positive 19 years ago, well, this past year.
Oh, wow.
And, but you would be surprised the number of people that are still very ignorant about HIV, the amount of stigma that I personally have to deal with, and some of it from people who know better. But it's almost this thing of, I'm already black, I'm already gay or whatever, but there's somebody less than me. There's somebody worse off than me.
Ooh,
and if that's somebody that is living in poverty or that's homeless, if that's somebody that has HIV, we find the thing that elevates who we think we are, instead of trying to uplift each other. And it's really sad. I think a lot of it's really rooted in also in a lot. We don't talk about mental health and trauma, and not that there's nothing wrong with sex. I think sex is healthy. It's great. I'm looking forward to having more of it in my life. But I had to take a break, and part of that was because there was some healing. There was some healing that was really informing, and I don't know that I was ever a sex addict, but I think I was a romance addict at one time, and because for me the quickest way to get romance, the quickest way to get a good cuddle was to have sex. And sometimes I just wanted a cuddle. I didn't really want sex. And then I had to learn that, why can't I just say what it is that I'm looking for, that intimacy, that affection? And some of that is rooted in a lot of the stuff that I haven't really dealt with. And so I think we also have to be in a position to talk about mental health to be in spaces where we feel comfortable enough disclosing some of the really messed up stuff that's happened. You know, Meach, I was thinking the other day,
Right.
like if you grew up a black kid in the church and you hear on a daily, weekly, every other day basis that you are an abomination and are going to go to hell, I literally think that has it has some kind of psychological, permanent, neurological, it's almost like your brain has to rewire yourself to be able to withstand that degradation on a day-to-day basis and still live. And I think that we always say, oh, we made it through. Something happened to you in the process. Like you had to you had to change in order to withstand that. And so if you haven't really gone back to deal with some of those messages, then you're going to act some of that out. You're going to sex some of that out. You're going to romance some of that out. And I think the space that I'm in right now is like, how do we get to some of the collective healing that needs to get done? And that's why, I'll put my experience and my story on Front Street, because it's not so much about me, but when somebody does it, then somebody else becomes brave enough to say, you know what, that happened to me too.
Right.
And there's a Me Too movement among the gays that a lot of people haven't talked about.
Listen, don't you do it.
Don't you do it. My first sexual experience wasn't consensual. It was not consensual.
Okay.
But I did not know. I did not know what gay sex was like. I didn't know how it was done. I didn't know. And I'm in a situation where maybe it's supposed to be excruciatingly painful and all this, and just relax. That phrase.
Just relax.
And when you don't have context and you don't know, because where else would you learn how to have consensual and healthy sex? And feel those feelings of, is this right? Is this a sin? There's so much of that stuff that we got to break through in order to be healthy people and functional people. However we do it, and I'm not one of these people that feels like there's only one way to do it. I've experimented with a lot of different types of relationships and whatnot, but I feel like however you do it, how can you do it in integrity? How can you do it being honest with the people that are involved and understanding what risks are out there?
Exactly. Now let's go here, because you mentioned about the Cincinnati Pride, and when I read that you were one of the spearheaders of that and the overseer and one of the people that was putting all that together. Let me ask this question first, because I do this every year and I get the same damn answers every year. I get the surface answer. My question to you is, particularly for Black Gay Pride, exactly what are you proud about?
It's interesting that you asked that question, and I think one of the things about Cincy Black Pride being a smaller pride is it will remind you of the way prides used to be back in the day, right? When we first did the prides, you had film festivals, you had community forums, conversations, dialogues, you had meet and greets, you had networking events, and at a certain point, the party promoters kind of took over, and Pride became a big party, and a lot of those other events just kind of disappeared. And so we were very intentional. We worked with a party promoter, Rock Hard Productions, and we said, let's do this together. We want to have the parties, but we also want to encourage people to, see films and have discussions and build community. So for me, Pride is just about that. It's about building a community that is healthy. And yes, partying is a part of it, right? So, we had a boat party along the Ohio River. There was a party at the casino. But we also had film festival events, and we marched in the parade. And so it was a more holistic idea of what does it mean to be visible in the city? What does it mean to find community in the city? Because I think another threat to that is, we have a lot of people. Back in the day when you needed to meet folks, whether it was Palmer Park in Detroit or Christopher Street in New York, you had to physically go somewhere and have a conversation.
Exactly.
And I think with the growth of these applications and apps, people are just on their phones, connecting, not necessarily having dialogue, and it's really done a lot to damage our sense of community. So that's, for me, Pride is about that, about going back to, like, let's show up in a place and me look at you and let's have a conversation and get to know each other, and that's how we build community. Because here's the thing. You can't protect people you don't care about.
How about, wait a minute. Don't you make me holler, boy. Not child.
You cannot protect people you don't care about, and you don't. It's hard to care about people that you don't know, right? So we've had these conversations about safety and protection, and this. The relationships have broken down. People don't have relationships to each other. You know, and until that can happen, you can't. You know, that's why, okay, I'm going to go to this space, I'm going to hook up with this person that I met 30 minutes ago, we're going to do whatever, and then I'm going to leave, and I may never see that person again. Why would you have a responsibility to tell that person anything about yourself?
How about that?
That's what the breakdown is. And I think there was something really interesting about having to go to the Woodward, the Heavens, and the conversations that we would have. I don't know if you had the experience of getting in your car and doing a road trip with your 5 best Judies, and those conversations. Oh, darling, we
did that going to Toledo.
Yes, exactly. But those conversations, and it was also like, we were accountability partners to each other. So if one of our friends was going to run off with some boy that they met, okay, we need a number. Who is this person? Where do they live? I mean, it was.
Wait a minute. Wait, you know what? I got into a huge argument about that, because it became, the argument was, oh, all of you femme queens, or you girly girls did all that shit, honey. I'm a man, I don't need nobody. I don't need to be checking in with my mama. I said, you don't even understand what the fuck that is, do you? I said, we did that to make sure if something went wrong, fool, somebody knew what the hell to do. Officer, he went that way with this person who was wearing a black shirt and a green top with the green and black Adidas shoes on. We did that. That's what that was. Right. You wanted to get into your business to figure out who you was finna to go fuck or whatever. That was your business. And then it was like, well, maybe I didn't want you to know that I was going off with them, because I said, see, all that secretive shit. I said, that is what broke us down, because y'all was so busy. And if you felt you had to be secretive about it, then you knew he was wrong from the jump. See, that was your conscience dealing with you. Okay.
But I think that there's also a cultural thing that I think happened as well, because at one time, I think you and I both remember this. You would see somebody out, and they would use the term sick, oh, so-and-so sick, and literally 2-3 weeks later, you'd hear about them passing. But this was also in the days where a lot of our DJs, right, like a lot of the people that used to play the house music in the club, we saw so many DJs during the peak of the HIV/AIDS epidemic. But I think that there's a way that death and dying kind of bonded us in a very different way, because we had an urgency around our relationships and taking care of each other. And I remember when, and this is probably a controversial statement to make. Somebody referred to me one time as a post-protease baby, and I was like, what are you talking about? Well, the protease inhibitors that came out in the later 90s basically brought a lot of people back to life, right? And so then it became, if you notice, if you look at the trajectory of the protease inhibitors and those drugs that, like, basically, people brought people back and they were looking fine and undetectable, there was also a shift in the music at the clubs.
That's right.
We stopped listening to house music. And then everything was about be a thug, be DL, be masculine, the Timms, and and literally the hip hop music will be calling people the F word over the speakers, and people are dancing to it. I'm sitting here like, how do you grow in a space where people are calling you a faggot, and you just
all day,
to it like it's not a problem.
And like it was nothing. But it's
But
conditioning
I think
because
some of
we
that
already
was,
got that from the church.
Right. That's true.
We already
true.
got that from the church,
it's,
honey. So that went in one ear and out the other. So
mm-hmm.
yeah, I can still move because this is my tune, honey. This is my beat. Yeah.
I had never made that connection. Right. The church prepares so many of us to be able to listen to yourself be badgered and still be okay and dance and sing, because that's what happens in so many of our churches and our congregations. To the point when you tell them about an affirming church, it's not going to do that. Some people say, "Oh, I don't go to those gay churches." I'm like, "Well, you're gay."
Right. That
you know, but it's
me.
almost like they have a problem, and similarly, as you know, from the artistic standpoint, you know, when we created Deep Dick Collective back in the late '90s, you know, that we were a pioneering hip hop group that we used to do shows with mostly straight rappers, right? But there were people who did not want to associate with gay rap because it wasn't quote unquote real enough, and so there was all this internalized
I remember that.
All this internalized homophobia around, you know, and I'm like, well, why is it that we made songs about, you know, meeting boys out at the mall and stories that reflect our experiences of being black and gay and queer and all that SGL, and there was such reticence to really own it, and I think it really speaks to that internalized homophobia that, like, I feel affirmed through the straight world. I feel affirmed through popular, you know, the gay people are the biggest consumers of mainstream popular culture.
Right.
You know, and I think that was one of the things that was exciting about the house music era. Yeah, and one of the things that was excited about the house, sometimes when you went to the club, that was the one time that week you were going to hear that song.
Exactly.
So it was
Come on now.
We were attracted to the music that was different. It was like we embraced the stuff that was different. And now you go to clubs and it's top 40, trap all day.
Right.
And I feel like, you know, where's the pride of just being different and an outlier?
I'm gonna tell you, a girlfriend of mine. Her name is Deborah, and we called them studs back in the day, but now what's the collective term now? They are AGs, aggressive girls, or whatever they call it now.
AGs, yeah, aggressive.
Okay.
Studs, aggressive.
Okay, we call them studs and bulldaggers, and bulldaggers being a derogatory term, but I'm using this to prove a point. We were at here in Atlanta at Atlanta's Pride a few years ago. This was the state Pride in October, not Black Pride. I had to, and she said, "You know what?" She said, "When we were coming up, she said I took pride in understanding and knowing that because I was a stud, I was different." And nobody could really sit down here and really figure me out and this, that, and the other. She said, because it was me and I owned it. She said, now when you look at all these damn kids, I just became common. And I don't like that.
Wow.
Wait a minute. She said, I just became common. You know?
Wow.
And I say that to say, because I have a straight friend of mine, his name is Haji. And he sits down and he says, I wish the gay community would go back to a place where they were just exclusive. Y'all so busy trying to fight for inclusion and this, that, and the other, to where now your whole culture has been usurped by straight black women, you know, and the rest of the world, because everybody now, you know, black women, you know, because these damn housewives shows that came out, they trying to out-queen the queen, you know? And it's like, really, girl, for real, you know, they done got cute with the language, with the hand gestures.
Well, co-opt the culture and still vote against your rights and rebuke you in the church.
How about that?
That's the shame of it.
How about that?
It's like it's you know, it's like it's very cosmetic, and we, you know, cosmetically, it's cool to have gay friends and to know how to read and talk about what's the tea and I got my life and all that, but you know, but some of these same women don't want their kids around gay men.
Exactly.
Let's talk
Yeah,
about
it's cool from a distance. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we're cool from a distance,
Or
honey.
as long
We're
as
bar
I
friends.
situate a particular place or a role that you play. And I remember one time in a work setting where a woman called me. She said I was an unhelpful gay.
Oh, Lord.
And I asked her what that meant. She's like, well, but you just like sports and regular stuff. Like, you can't help me shop or, fix my house. And it's almost like gays have become accessories to assist straight people in improving their lives.
Well, look at what we've done with that, with the Queer Wife for the Straight Guy, and how the culture itself has acquiesced. And I will say this, that our Caucasian counterparts have fortified that because this is the space in which they live. We as black gays, child, we have always been. I had Brother Umar Johnson on my show a while ago, and I had to sit down here. They told me I could never be a real man. He had one of his little cronies call into the show and said, I can never be a real man because I sleep with men, and that there is tearing down the foundation on the family. And I said, wait a minute, brother, back up. I said, because, see, that's me, the gay man, who lifts up your woman when you always tear her down. That's me building up her confidence, her self-esteem, and carrying on. That's me helping her take care of the kids that you don't take care of when you ain't there. That's my money buying diapers and this, that, and the third. Okay? I have done everything that you say a man is supposed to do for your black woman except have sex with her. And in that regard, I know where to point her to the mandingo. Bitch, I got the kids, honey. Let me watch the kids. You go get you a little peace, girl, so you can calm your ass down and get back to your responsibilities. And he said to me that the sum is not greater than the factors because of that one piece. It's not the total sum, and that, my brother, is why I said. So you're telling me that everything about a black man revolves around his sex? Boom, mic drop. Okay, mic drop.
Right.
So with that, we have. I guess we acquiesce to something that I don't think that we have really paid attention to. Black gays and care that we have always been the backbone of the family. Everybody had an Uncle Peaches, okay, and an Uncle Frank or whatever. We've always had those particular children in the family. I just happen to be I look at my nieces and nephews, and I'm like, okay, I'm their uncle. I'm their uncle, honey. That's my gay uncle, honey. But they know I get their ass together because hell, I consider them to be my grandkids in some regard because I help raise my siblings. At the same time, we've always had that foundation. So now, in this regard, and let me go here because I was on the Pride thing, and as an artist, because this is later. As an artist, you're not only are you an activist, and then as an activist that wanted to have a voice, and to say this is what's missing in the community. You went to Cincinnati and said, okay, you know what, fuck this. Let's put this together because this needs to have some representation. So you put that together. But then let's look at the prize themselves, because as an artist, now there's you, there's Deadly. I just had Deadly on a couple of weeks ago. Anthony Antoine, and the number of hosts of other gay artists who are absolutely artists. Y'all got product, y'all tour, y'all this, y'all that.
Right.
Why is it that we cannot support our own? Because I know one of the things, one of the tiers of your educational tools and one of your platforms is to talk about black gay economics and how we as a black gay culture need to understand our own economics. So what does that do for you? Because now, as a curator and someone who wants to put all this together, how does that work? Because I can't do it all, and if I'm put it together, I can't be on the stage at the same time because now I got to have somebody run back here. What is that?
Right. Right, and that's what's interesting. We will, and I was on the Black Pride circuit for so long. Some of these prides would give me a fish sandwich and one night at a hotel and pay me $50 to do a 30-minute show, but give $15,000 for Kelly Rowland to do 2 songs.
Right. Or a walkthrough. How
and I
about
love
that?
Kelly Rowland. I use her as an example. I love some Kelly Rowland. Don't give me. I'm just using her as an example to talk about, like, you know, even if we were going to do that, because we know we have to draw people to something. Why not use that platform to give the stage to an artist that's local in the community that's doing something, and have them open? Have 2 or 3 people that are local artists open for the main act. Like,
exactly.
Why is it that it's like we don't lift up our own, and then, you know, and it's hard. I mean, you know, most LGBT artists, you know, we're not grossing money. You know, we may make enough to make the product that we put into it, that we invest in it, but we do it because we wanted those voices represented in the music. There were stories in hip hop that I've been able to tell that just weren't out there. You know, people will climb, well, hip hop, they don't talk about this or that. Well, I mean, and now there's all sorts of LGBT artists, but it's still hard to for them to have a platform, and I think we don't invest enough in that. And so I do appreciate you and your show for giving space to really uplift those voices, because it gets draining. I think at this point, you know, I'm actually putting out my best of in October, and part of that's because I've really, you know, and that's not so much retired, because I am toying with this idea of a group in Cincinnati, although, like, I'm the only gay person in that group that's going to come together. So that's going to be an interesting project. But in terms of my solo work, I really want to mentor and support other artists. When I did the show for the Front Porch at Cincinnati Black Pride, I brought, you know, Seek the Poet out of Houston, Ken J. Martin, you know Ken J., who's in Atlanta. So I brought them, and I paid them. You know, and I think that's something we don't do enough for the people in our community that are, you know, and you know, if Ken J was a straight boy, he would be a award-winning artist right now, because the level of our talent.
Oh,
yep.
Ken J is a singing fool. You hear me?
Yep.
That boy sang his
the reality. But the reality is, the industry will say, well, you know, we can't market this, because if your own community is not going to have your back, why should other people?
Exactly.
And Ken J will tell you, I will tell you, what's kept our careers afloat as artists has been actually a lot of straight people who are out there who,
you know what,
like our
Debbie said the same
they
thing.
like that we're doing different stuff. Yeah, they will tell you that. If you are relying solely on, you know, and when I came through, the idea was, I'm going to be an inspiration. I'm going to do music for Black LGBT folks. And then I realized, you know, they don't always have my back, so I got to, like, broaden my audience. And, you know, that's everything from white progressive people to straight hip hop guys that are just really appreciate a good message. I've had straight rappers collaborate with me, and to me, that's forging change as well. But I do think it speaks to people not knowing. You know how many young kids out there, you know, the pose thing is a big thing now, but they still have not seen. I talked to a young trans woman in Cincinnati who just saw Paris is Burning for the first time last week.
For the first time?
For the first time.
Wow.
Like our sense of history. You mentioned Tongues Untied, or Essex Hemphill, or Marlon Riggs.
Yes.
They don't know. Like, no one's passing along that information and that knowledge, and so we have to, like, one of the things I want to say about Cincinnati Black Pride, and I will have to go in a few minutes, but we want to make sure, like, we are insistent on not just being an event. So we already have programming planned for throughout the year. We want to have forums. We want to bring people together. We want to have stuff for youth, and I think that's what Pride should be. It shouldn't be we have 3 days, we party, and then you see us again next year, we want to party again. And I feel like that's the push that these organizations have to have, is how can they become more than that? I'm looking forward to going to Detroit for Hotter Than July, but I hope they have some other programming there. You know, and there's some good people in Detroit doing some great things. You know, Meach, that's my go-to now when I want to hear house music. I got to go to Chicago and Detroit.
Right. Okay. Right. I'm gonna say this, and that there is. I wish Hotter Than July would get back to the center of their message. because when Holiday in July first started, they used to center their message around Ruth Ellis's birthday, because Ruth Ellis, being the oldest out black lesbian, and what all she has done to contribute to the elevation of Detroit black gay life, they need to return to that. And that needs to be the staple, because Pride, Detroit, Holiday in July used to be 2 weeks. It used to start from July 18th and go to the end of the month. Okay. Now you just got whatever weekend is. Right. Okay.
You know, I
and now they just.
So the only other time I have marched, and this is a historical thing, I remember marching with the contingent of Hotter Than July, Dr. Kofi, and all those folks.
Yes.
And they actually marched through a black neighborhood that our people lived in. And I thought that was so powerful that it wasn't something downtown. It was right in the neighborhood where the black people live, and it was us being visible. And Detroit's the only place I've seen that happen.
Yeah, Atlanta tried to do that down here.
That happens anymore.
Well, we tried to do it here in Atlanta. They had a march during MLK weekend, and they would go over here in the West End and walk up the West End. I didn't attend that one.
Okay.
In the West End, and I was like, okay, that's cute, but a lot of this, I really think that we have got to be a little bit more progressive. But the question becomes, I know we can say that, but most of the time these particular messages fall on the choir. But I heard somebody, so I said, you're speaking to the choir. She said, well, now it's time for the choir to go out there and sing. Give me an A and a B. Okay. I said, whoop. Okay, bitch, you did that.
That is a word.
Okay.
That is a word right there.
Okay. She said, well, if I'm preaching to the choir, now it's time for the choir to go out there and sing an A and B. Okay.
Wow.
So be that as it may, But I want you to, before you get ready to go, touch on your organization, Teach for America, real quick, and let the folks know what that initiative is all about. And then, of course, let everybody know how to find all of your work, your books, your CDs, and this, that, and the other.
Absolutely. So I've been working. It's funny that my birthday is today, and I celebrate 4 years at Teach for America on Monday. So it's right back to back. And I lead their LGBTQ initiative. So Teach for America places talent leaders, not just people out of college. So I've actually had friends of mine. One of my friends was a pharmacist doing farm tech stuff. Just didn't really feel fulfilled in that and wanted to do something more purposeful. Applied to Teach for America, taught 3 years. Now he's doing a PhD in educational leadership somewhere and wants to become like a district leader. So, teachforamerica.org is where you can find out about that organization. And we do look for, LGBT leaders to be in our schools and to teach. Now, it's not always easy, right? Especially under this current administration, there's so much happening to our schools. They are trying to prevent people from collecting data on suspension rates that show that, boys of color and girls of color are being suspended at disproportionate rates. They're trying to do things like making it mandatory for teachers to report, if a kid has a gender identity situation and think they might be trans, it would make it a felon if the teacher did not report that to the parent, which we know is a sure route to homelessness or a kid killing themselves. Because some of the parents,
was that you that posted that up on Facebook? Because I read that. I think that was you that posted that. When I read that, I howled. I said, "What?"
Yeah, because that's crazy. That is crazy. And the danger that would do to so many kids. Already 40 to 50% of the homeless youth out there are LGBT. So and it's because of that. So my organization tries to bring awareness to those issues, and people don't even have to be traditional education majors to look into things like Teach for America. And Teach for America is one of many organizations. I always say there are a lot of organizations out there doing good work, City Year, AmeriCorps programs. I say, if you want to give back, there are different ways to do so. And whatever city you're in, if you're interested in just being involved in helping our young people, look me up. My email address is t.west@braveeducator.com. My website is braveeducator, that's 2 E's in the middle, .com, and you can find me there. Product, music, all that good stuff. And I can definitely direct you on ways to help and support. And then Meach, I know I'd be remiss if I let you talk to me and not offer some personal updates because I've been on this team single thing for a little bit now, and anybody that knows me knows I'm notorious for like being a serial monogamist. But it's been such a healing space. Something that I learned was my mother was like, well, you don't court, you just date. And I said, well, what is she saying? She's like, no, you meet somebody, you start to like them, and the next thing you know, you're in a relationship. And then you realize that there's some incompatibilities and some challenges while you're in the relationship. So then you're kind of struggle to figure things out, to work things out. She said, just court. You ain't got to name it, nothing.
Right. Baby, you never did that?
Court. I didn't. No, I was not somebody that courted. And now that I'm doing it, it's so much fun. There's less pressure.
Yes.
It's like I'm courting to see who I want to date.
Exactly.
So
listen, I put that in my first book.
Oh, nice.
I put that in my first book. What do I want from a man? And I'd say that. That was the passage that come from. My first book is Awakenings, Epiphanies Along a Spiritual Journey. And I put in there that there are two art forms that have been lost, and that is the art form of intimacy and the art form of courtship. Because a lot of folks believe that intimacy means sex. And intimacy is not sex only. It's a part of it. But no, intimacy is that space where we could sit down and enjoy one another's company and not have a word. I could be sitting down here reading the newspaper. You could be filing your nails or whatever the case may be. But because we're in the same space, you're sitting on the couch, I'm on the love seat or whatever. But because I know you there, I feel your warmth. I feel your connection. We're still connected. We may not have said a word verbally, but we still have that connection. That intimacy throughout the day, those little phone calls and this, that, and the other, that there is what keeps us connected. Because for those who don't believe in making love all day, that's how you do it, child. It ain't about that, I'm able to penetrate you or we're touching all the time. It is what you do that keeps the fire burning. It keeps me wanting and yearning. I miss you when I'm apart from you kind of thing. Courtship is the art of getting to learn somebody. See, this is where I say what makes you tick and then what ticks you off. See, this is how I learned your quirks and how I learn if our flaws are compatible. Because oftentimes we already know when the good stuff is compatible, but we got to look at when our flaws are incompatible. Because oftentimes that's where we have the big blow-ups. The big flaws, child, if I know you come home and you like to strip down butt naked at the front door and leave your underwear at the front door, is that enough for me to make that a deal breaker? Because that's going to get up under my skin.
Right.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? Is that enough for me to cringe?
People show up with the representative all the time, and so I think that's what that courtship allows that representative to come undone. So you can actually see, actually they have this little quirk, or they do that, and that's not just the other person. They're things about me, and
that's
it's
you
just
too. Hello,
I think to learn that, right? Like there are things about me that because I think we all want and desire that companionship, and so I stopped saying bringing my best self. No, bring your true self, right? Because your best self is not you all the time. It's just not.
It's not you. Right. Ha! That's that Sunday morning church shit that you like to put on, honey, when you're going to praise the Lord.
Oh. Exactly.
Okay. Well, you scared to sit down there and you just got that suit out the cleaners. I can't afford to get it clean, but you scared to go to the church picnic because somebody gonna have some damn ranch dressing or something that's oily and gonna put a spot on that motherfucker. How do you know? What? how to protect that best image, because that's the best foot forward. This is what I want the world to see of me, to acknowledge of me and carry it on. But see, you have to understand that perhaps my best at this moment is me sitting up here on the couch scratching my nuts because I'm bored and don't know what to do, or I'm procrastinating because hello. That's the person you
and when
need
you
to
can fall,
understand.
and when you can fall in love with that, when you can fall in love with that person, that's when you get longevity. That's when you get a relationship that will last, because it wasn't your best self they fell in love with. It was your true self.
Okay, it was the halitosis in the morning, honey. And they still said, "Let me have a kiss." See,
right. So true. Well, look, Meach, I got to roll. I got to get some gas. I'm in the middle of somewhere that, you know how it is when you're black and you're driving in the South and you don't see nothing but trees, and it's like a gas station that doesn't have a real sign. So
right.
Look, I'm glad. I don't know where I am, but y'all locate me if y'all don't hear from me tomorrow.
I heard that. Right. Okay.
But nah, it has been a real pleasure being on this show, and I got to get back on, and I can't wait to you should come up to. You got to pay your family in Detroit a visit.
I'm coming up there next month. Actually, I'll be home next month. Yeah, I'm coming up.
Well, let me know.
My alter ego.
I'll hop up to Detroit. Detroit there's some eye candy in Detroit. Yes, Jesus.
Okay. Well, you know what? Detroit always had the boys, baby. Detroit always.
Yes,
baby.
Yes,
listen, our homeless boys, honey, the crackheads are found in Detroit. Okay. I know, child. Listen carefully. Okay, I'm gonna clean up a mini boy, honey, but I ain't gonna get all off into that right now. Okay.
Oh man!
But yeah, I'm coming up next month between August 9th through the 12th. I got to be in Battle Creek because my alter ego, Miss Samantha Stevens Divinity, she's coming up to perform, and
oh, okay.
Yes, so I'll be home. So you don't know her.
August is a good month for me. Make sure I know about it. I will come up and support. And again, thank you so much for this. This is just good. I mean, and I think that's what it is. I mean, imagine if these kind of conversations just happen organically all over the place. Like when you get to know people, you care about people. And I know Big Meach ain't allowing nobody whisper, well, he's sick at the club, because Big Meach knows me. And he knows my heart, and he knows what I stand for. And I'm not going to let nobody do that about you, because we have built
and everybody who knows me knows,
we can get back
honey.
to that. You don't
see, you're not going to put your mouth on that. Exactly. Watch your mouth, bitch. See, I'm still old school like that, okay? I'm still watch your mouth, bitch, because you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm still that bitch. I'm still that bitch. Okay, with my meat cleaver in my purse. I used to carry. They called it. They used to get them. You used to get them in the grocery store all the time. You used to call them a cheese slicer. They were the little bitty old meat cleavers that they call a cheese slicer. Yes, I still keep her in my purse, honey. Yes, I do. Okay.
Check you out.
So be that as it may, I'm going to put this out here. You and Deadly need to collaborate again soon. So I'm going to throw that out there on the air.
We did a tour, and we have not really done much since then, so that's actually a good recommendation.
He just texted me because I wanted him to call in, but he said he was busy. But he said, we did a tour together. I said, because he's looking to do some new music and carrying on, and that was part of our conversation. So I'm throwing that your way, honey.
Yep. Well, you don't put it out
with
on the
that,
radio, so we got to make it happen now.
How about that? And this is the platform. I'm the DJ, honey. I'll blow that bitch up right here. Okay. Okay. So having said all that, honey, let me get you to your gas station, darling. Thank you for all of your time, your love.
Thank you.
And we will definitely do this again.
In general.
Oh, bless you, sweetie. Now, see, don't go there, because I'm sensitive like that, child. Because we can give each other the accolades, because this is how we do. I just admire your work, and I admire your voice. Okay, I admire your voice, honey, because You talk with intelligence. You don't talk like the side of your throat and carrying on. You actually come with facts and science and carrying on behind it. And we actually have something that we can hold on to, and it's not from a place of emotion that just strikes up folks, and then they have no substance. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Love you, brother.
Love you back, baby. Thank you so much.
All right.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to do, he has a song out called Fakery, and I think that, you know, after all of this that we just said about truth and carrying on, I think this song speaks to that, because at this particular time, particularly in this the climate that we have a lot of people who have hidden themselves behind the curtain and the mask of fakery, to where when the truth actually shows, child, we don't know how to recognize it, or it becomes so overwhelming to it that we don't know what to do with it. So I'm going to close the show with this particular song. But before I do, let me tell you, honey, I thank you all for coming out. I thank you all for the 9 years that you have given me. And, you know, I'm mostly by myself, but I can't take all the credit because I do have help along the way, folks who are in my corner. Let me thank Peter Jackson over there with 5 More Artists, Detroit. I want to thank Michi DeVale, honey, who has had my back, who has been on and has produced a couple of shows for me and things of that nature. I want to thank all of my guests who have been on throughout the years, all of my celebrity friends, and I have some real celebrity friends that we have built friendships because of the show and through the show and things of that nature. I just want to thank you for coming on through and for being you and for allowing me to do what it is that I do. If you are checking us out and want to get more information, please feel free to go to our website, and that's www.dishingtea.com. That's www.dishingtea.com. Go there now. We're about to redo the website and carrying on, because it's getting a little cluttered. But we're about to redo it so that it has a more visual appeal to it and carrying on. Y'all know I'm very transforming and forthcoming and transparent. So we're finna redo that. But go there and listen and look for more information about all the things that it is that I'm doing and carrying on. And I want you to do this. I'm going to challenge you guys, for those of you who want to bring us happy anniversary shout-outs and carrying on, I want you to call this number. Call the Dishing Tea hotline, 404-343-6658. 404-343-6658. Call that number and you can leave your happy anniversary Big Meach messages there. And as soon as I get them, I'm going to download them and we're going to play them on the air throughout the entire month of July and August. So, again, the Dishing Tea hotline, 404-343-6658. And just put in your happy anniversary Big Meach messages right there. Okay, now you may finish all of your crumpets, darling, because the tea has been dished. And you've been dishing tea, my darlings, with the Big Meach child. If you love me, tell a friend. If you hate me, tell an enemy. But do know this, one way, shape, style, form, or fashion, everything that I'm doing will move forward. Now, one more time, honey, this is Timm M. West.
Brothers are talking about keeping it real, but the real ain't really real. We're two MCs on the MIC, and this is how we feel. Hip-hop flow with some old R&B-ish, but you an overconfident arch nemesis who talk shit, but who can't hang with limited. Gonna need more than boxing gloves to make a hit. Gonna need a larger brain to sustain in this game, but flows is about more than money, cars, and hoes. If that's all you talk about, that's the way it goes. Ain't gonna hate on a brother that rap what they know, but many rap what they dream and ain't been through shit unless the toilet bowl ain't clean. They illegitimate, but I know about gun clips and then some. Melly Mel run DMC, KRS-One, De La, Cool Keats, Brand Nubian. Let me take it to the schoolhouse rock. City ciphers on back streets, shooting the crap rock. Switch blazing gunshots, crack rock and red dot. Get your mind off it, held at the front door. Blow pops and gold box, now laters and red hot. B-balls and short shots, ice cream man coming when the block get hot. Then you grow up Time been ticking, the milk carton say your innocence missing. The on conjunction, junction, the function is to educate. You be the chessboard, I be the checkmate. You be the student, I be the teacher. Philosopher, preacher, act up, I beat you. My entrance in this game timely. I didn't find hip-hop had to find me. Your realness is fake, your cakes is half-baked. Little Debbie's 99 cents, you get 8. I'm a first-rate Pillsbury doughboy, laughing soft and bubbly, tripping off your punk-ass thuggery. Fakery, try to make a mistake with me, thinking I won't come with this spit gracefully, graciously provide you with a few rap lessons. Riding your lexicon, consider it my blessing. Fakery, try to make a mistake with me, thinking I won't come with this spit gracefully, graciously provide you with a few rap lessons. Riding your lexicon, consider it my blessing.
You say you stop snitching, you claim you got riches, but in reality you ain't got a pot to piss in. You just a puppet that's controlled by the industry, frontin' like you lived your whole life in the streets. We know that actually you was living happily under your mom's roof. It's all just a knack you see. Naturally I got a gift in my words, but it's a shame what today these rappers think is absurd. I dip and I swerve, but I'm still hitting potholes. Spit around by cars and lights and claim that you got flows. You snot nose, you still wet behind the ears. What's on the radio, I can't respect the rounds I hear. I've yet to find a clear reason why things change, cause in the mid-90s, we didn't try these games. They signed these lanes, and now hip-hop is sweet as a bakery. Sugar-coated MCs is filled with fakery.
Fakery, try to make a mistake with me, thinking I won't come with this spit gracefully, graciously provide you with a few rap lessons. Riding your lexicon, consider it my blessing. Fakery, try to make a mistake with me, thinking I won't come with this spit gracefully, graciously provide you with a few rap lessons. Riding your lexicon, consider it my blessing.
By any of the 108 Atlanta area O'Reilly Auto Parts stores, where you'll find everyday low prices on the parts you need to keep your vehicle at its best. Our guaranteed low prices ensure you're always getting our best deal. In fact, we'll match any auto parts store's price on any like item. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly.
Stop by any of the 108 Atlanta area O'Reilly Auto Parts stores, where you'll find everyday low prices on the parts you need to keep your vehicle at its best. Our guaranteed low prices ensure you're always getting our best deal. In fact, we'll match any auto parts store's price on any like item. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.